When we were looking at this sector, the idea was not to find a product, but to find a partner. Maliban, with a 70-year-old legacy, automatically fitted in.
If you want to go to India and you need a partner who is very strong. In the FMCG landscape, definitely you need a company with a very high distribution network. That's definitely Reliance is the number one company.
It's great to work with a company like Reliance. From day one, we were, I think, very comfortable with each other, and I'm very comfortable to give our brand for them to handle in India.
Hi everyone, and today we are here to discuss something truly exciting, a landmark strategic partnership between Sri Lanka's iconic Maliban Group and Reliance Consumer Products of India, a giant in FMCG retailing in India. And joining me in the studio today are three eminent personalities from the two companies. Ketan Mody, the Executive Director of Reliance Consumer Products. Welcome, Ketan.
Thank you.
Kumudika Fernando, Chairperson and Group MD of the Maliban Group. Welcome, Kumudika.
Thank you.
And last but not least, Ravi Jayawardena, the Group CEO of the Maliban Group. Welcome, Ravi.
Thank you.
I'm going to start with you, Ketan. Reliance Consumer has been disrupting India's FMCG space. You're already making bold moves in reviving brands. You are doing product, reinvention. Where does Maliban fit in?
So, Reliance Consumer actually started with a philosophy, or I would say our vision, to introduce global quality products at affordable prices. Maliban, with a 70-year-old legacy, known for its innovation, quality products, automatically fitted in. If you see, they have a 70-year-old legacy, but they have been really contemporary. So in current trends, the current products still appeal to all the generations. With 70 years plus of consumer love, over 45 countries, it was automatically a good fit for us.
I'm going to come to you, Kumudika. I've interviewed many CEOs, particularly from family companies, and there is something more than a normal entity, right? You are the third generation of a truly iconic brand. As chairperson and keeper to your grandfather's legacy, how do you balance the heritage, maintain the heritage, and also growing, while sort of keeping to your values?
I think one or two things will always stay with Maliban. My grandfather started a very quality-oriented, consumer-oriented journey. He was very a stickler for that, right? And then my father, after him, was doing the same thing. I think that's what we are taking forward. Though it's a heritage brand, the future also will carry those very two important things. So that's how we are moving forward with.
And why go for India and such a large and iconic market?
I mean, I think it's it's a huge country. It's 1.4 billion people. So we are honored actually to be there and take what we believe is good, what my grandfather believed was good, and go there and produce a good biscuit basically in India.
Ravi, in Maliban's 70-year journey, this is a very important milestone. When you look for a partner and you found Reliance, how did you ensure that this is not just about the money? It's about a strategic fit, compatibility of values, and going on a journey together. How did you come to this conclusion, and how did you go about finding your partner in Reliance?
I think from a Reliance point of view and India point of view, because Sri Lanka always has a huge relationship and we are culturally very close to each other. So Sri Lankan origin also came from India. And Reliance as a partner, definitely, because because Sri Lanka, we are a big fish in a small pond in that sense. We're a big company, but Sri Lankan market is very small comparing with India. India, one state can be bigger. So in that context, and if you want to go to India and you need a partner who is very strong, that's definitely Reliance is the number one company. And in the FMCG landscape, definitely you need a company with a very high distribution network, which Reliance has. They are covering They own more than 18,000 outlets, cover more than 1 million. I think they are very aggressive. They started in 2022, as Ketan said that, and it's really there's the fastest growing retail channel. So in FMCG, you can't win without the distribution. And number three, I think the logistics also is pretty good. Their backend is very strong, and to win the front end, you have to be very strong in backend. And people trust that name. It's like Maliban is the most trusted and respected brand in Sri Lanka. Reliance is the most trusted brand there. So all the dots are getting connected beautifully.
Ketan, I'll start with you on the market itself, right? The Indian consumer is changing. They are beginning to value health. They also want value for money in terms of the quality of the products, that they are purchasing. How does Maliban help you fulfill these criteria of the evolving Indian consumer?
So when we were looking at this sector, the idea was not to find a product, but to find a partner. I've already explained why Maliban fitted the thought process in this. If just to extend the logic, Maliban, with its 70 years of tradition, is still relevant to the new customer. Whether it is taste, they have gone to 40 plus countries, so they are really relevant with the world taste, and also whether it is on a health conscious product. So all this put together, and keeping in mind the overall strategy of or overall vision of RCPL of global quality, affordable price, I mean, it automatically works out. It is more about synergies between two partners. It is all about formulation excellence and the baking legacy of Maliban coming together with execution strength of Reliance.
Kumudika, as they embark on this journey, you've grown up your whole life with the brand, effectively your whole life and beyond, actually. How do you make sure that you ensure that on this journey, they keep your heritage going, the values your grandfather made, but also sort of adapt to 40 plus markets, adapt to the local tastes of the markets you're in?
I think being in the business for 70 years, we know what everybody wants. And coupled with the maintenance of quality, keeping the trust of the consumer, I think we would take that to India, that knowledge and that and work with Reliance on that part. That will be our part, I think.
And how do you work with the day-to-day management? Are you a more hands-on person?
I'm very hands-on.
Okay.
We go to the factory every morning. We taste biscuits every morning. My grandfather did that. My father did that. I'm still doing it. I think so. I enjoy doing that. It's so inbuilt. So hopefully one day our future generations also will keep on doing that.
And technology cannot change that.
No, tasting is I think if you take a Mari from 2 years to today, our Mari is the same. Going through the changes in the world, the ingredients, everything, the cost. We have maintained the Mari as one example. All our products are the same taste-wise. So I think I'm very responsible in maintaining that. So I keep on doing it, yes.
I think just to add to what she said, that one thing I noticed is that we have a very good quality team, but because her father also did that, and looking at a biscuit, eating it before, during consumption, and after that fundamental quality, that is in the system, I think in the blood, and that's something which I think as a company we are very lucky. It is not that that has been the DNA of the company, and that skill is that, for me, example, I don't have even 25% of the skill, to be very frank.
I think people, like especially the product development and the quality control, people pick up when I say, because that's I think I teach them that, or I show them what to look for. And I think they're so that's what I do.
And then you are mentoring a newer generation of
Yes, I have 2 daughters who are getting into the business, so I need to teach them all that, yes.
Ravi, just coming to the operating model that you have, it's actually quite a unique one. So, where it's really a strategic partnership. I'm told that you have production facilities overseas as well. You have teams, testing, R&D. It's very unique for a Sri Lankan company to be able to go and sort of operate in large markets like India. Can you tell us more about how you operate there and the model you're utilizing?
I think this Reliance partnership is very much matching the complementary skills. Our value addition is our research and development, as you said. That is very much, I think Ketan also articulated it well. So it's really, we bring that 70 years of our expertise in. We can develop a world-class biscuit based on the market. So we bring that. And Reliance has all the other resources. So, and to India is always the most complicated market for FMCG. So to embark that is that you need a strong partner like that, and they bring that other resources. So it's a beautiful match. So that's how we have started, and that's the business model it will be.
In fact, the manufacturing has been kept in India to make it more agile. The idea is, we can act to the innovation at the regional level faster. It can also kind of get a very fast distribution, work towards the working trends or requirements very fast. And the last minute, agility is the next thing in business. So, just to keep the agility in mind also, it is there. So R&D is always going to be from here, and we get there, and we have kind of developed some very unique products which are more suited for India. Something like more protein energy plus biscuit, or even differently textured tea biscuit, even some premium wafers. So, that shows a localization thought process, a different innovation, and being really more agile and kind of, being more responsive to the market and a faster distribution.
It's also very impressive because what happens with a lot of companies that export, they still want to manufacture in their home market and not be ambitious into actually set up in such a large market. So it's quite impressive.
I think as Ketan is right, because I'll tell you a simple example. If the recipe that we run here, and if we run the same recipe, we have tested that, it's about 40% less, because India has margarine oil, the sugar, flour, energy cost, and the overall overweight. So it's really so there's no way in the FMCG landscape you manufacture in it. So a lot of people are asking, and Reliance has a very good integration backward and front end. So it's really, you have to manufacture there, and the logistic challenge. So otherwise it will be.
And it's a huge market. You want scales.
Non-starter, yeah.
So Ketan, when you have such a large distribution channel and you're basically distributing somebody else's brand, you must have a lot of trust.
So it is our brand. We never said it is somebody's brand. So that's I said, it is more about synergies. My first answer itself was, we were not looking for a product, we were looking for a partner. And this both thought processes, in fact, ethos and all matched. So it is not about distributing someone else's product. We have actually taken a lot of legacy brands and kind of revived on our own. Maliban is something which is a joint partnership. R&D is important. So it is like matching their formulation and baking excellence and adding to our execution muscle. And our knowledge about Indian market and our reach, that's pan-India reach. So that is what all about it. It's a proper partnership.
Kumudika, you all are in 40 different markets, and you all assess strengths and weaknesses of every market and every partner in the market. From the family's perspective, why in Reliance, and how do you see that progressing?
For us, it is great to work with a company like Reliance, but
that is also a family legacy, right?
Yeah. And from day one, we were, I think, very comfortable with each other, and I'm very comfortable to give our brand for them to handle in India. So,
And this is the first time we have done.
We have never done that before.
Our 70 years history, first time we have done that. Yeah.
So we are very comfortable. I think the relationship is very comfortable. I think that's what's working here.
And it's an important part as well. Ravi, growing forward, how big do you think India will be in terms of a market? Will it eclipse Sri Lanka one day?
From a Sri Lankan perspective, we are like Sri Lankan total market is about 9,000 metric tons for a month, 37 manufacturers, and about 100,000 for a year. We were having a discussion yesterday with KK and Ketan. There's actually that our contribution to Sri Lanka here, they will match in 3 years. So what we have done 70 years, they will match in 3 years. So, but definitely they are very aggressive. And Ketan, you want to add something to that?
From our side, the idea is, like I said, there's a complete white space in India to provide global quality products at affordable price. You get in the right set of products, the market is huge. In fact, I was just wanted to add, they are not, if you consider countries like 45 plus, I guess 45 countries. So from a sheer size, once we get our product right, so we also are going in a right. So we have now introduced, just latestly, we have introduced products which were more relevant for there. Like a lower LUP pack, which is a lower unit price products, are very relevant for Indian markets. And now we have started catering something for there. So the idea is to get all the good products from here and try and again customize partly from an Indian perspective, and some of them make it from Indian perspective. So with all that together, we expect. Our endeavor is to do everything as quickly as possible. But yeah, finally, it's the consumer who decides. Our job would be to give the consumer the right product. And we are very sure with the thought process we have and the partnership, the consumer will love it. But that final judge and jury is the consumer.
Coming to this distribution, e-commerce is growing, but you also have a very strong Reliance Mart kind of distribution process on the ground. How is that changing, and where is Maliban being? How are you looking at distributing Maliban?
It is for us, it is more like it is channel agnostic. What our distribution network, what we have done in India, mom and pop stores or so-called big kiranas are very important. They have a very huge stores. We have our own chain of stores. E-commerce also is growing. But from our thought process, it has to be a channel agnostic. We are not targeting one particular audience. It is like when you give consumers various products, you give them channels to select. So everything has a role. From our side, we would be trying to reach out, and even multiple channels. We're trying to work out on a lot of other thought processes also. So it's whichever channel reaches, finally it has to reach to the consumer.
So you're agnostic about the channel.
We are a product company. We have to be channel agnostic. It is like, if the consumer chooses, and for us, all channels are open.
Ravi, how is Sri Lanka's distribution changing? Is it how has it changed over the last few years?
Sri Lanka is still like our penetration is pretty good. We cover about 95,000 outlets directly, and indirectly about another 30,000. But still, the GT, we call it mom and pop stores, are pretty big. Their contribution is roughly about 20%, 80%. The modern trade is still, with all these supermarkets coming in, it's about 20%. And if you take the Colombo Western Province, the modern trade is around 35%. But if you take as a national picture, so this will continue. Like in India, we are slightly in modern trade contribution is slightly higher here. But the growth is what we thought some time back, and actually in reality, it's not the case. So the other thing we have seen, the GT, the mom and pop stores, the top end are converting into self-service outlets. They are also converting into like a mini supermarket. So that trend has started, and they give price offers and things like that. So that segment is getting bigger and bigger. That's an emerging channel. It has started 2-3 years back. Now it is really growing.
And then also in terms of pricing power, I think after the economic crisis, this is one of the FMCG is one of the I think the last kind of areas where it's recovering, right? I think prices, there's still pressure on prices because there's a lot of new players and they're not necessarily using the best quality products. I mean, in terms of the ingredients, right? And the consumer may not necessarily know the difference between, what they're putting in. They just look at the price and it's cheaper. They may go for that. Do you think that the consumer is evolving? Do you think the consumer is appreciating, quality better now that the economy, we are coming out of these?
I think so, yeah. For a while, the low cost players were playing better. Now I think it's coming back slowly.
So I think that's a good sign for the country.
Yeah, there's a growth that slowly is coming back. But shoppers also having a tough time these days, and that's what
with the basics prices going up, basic food items. So biscuit is not a basic food item.
and the price offers are working. The most effective promotional method is price offs now, and consumers shift
But even for
brands,
biscuits.
even for biscuits, most of the categories that's.
Future, in terms of the consumer, let's start with the Indian consumer. We spoke about a little bit of changing, dynamics before. What do you see as the most exciting, opportunities, not just in India, but also in the rest of South Asia? I'm sure you have insights.
The vision of doing a global quality product at affordable prices is actually super relevant to a bigger audience, much bigger audience. We feel almost 40-50% of the world, 40% for sure, kind of this becomes relevant. Anyway, when you're doing a global quality product and at affordable prices, the consumer is kind of gives them a different choice and choice to consume more. Uh, if you idea for us is to do across the same thing across categories, so we seriously feel there is a potential not only in Asia but almost 40% of the world. This is one of the most important strategies which could work, and we clearly see as a white space. For this, you have to kind of work completely on the value chain, on the supply chain part, and we have to kind of work on each and every part of the value chain so that it is always relevant. Quality can never be compromised, and you have to keep it affordable. So this is a challenge. This is our vision, and that's what we are working on. So we seriously feel there is a good scope. Finally, as I said, all the success of a product finally decided by the consumer. So you give the consumer a choice. The consumer decides whether it is good or not.
So you've known consumer for a long time, Kumudika. So how do you feel going forward the consumer taste will change? What are the exciting opportunities you see for Maliban, not just in this region, but in any other part of the world?
I'm sure the consumers need and want and will change, but we will maintain what we maintain. The trust they have on us and the quality, and we will go forward. So if it might be a healthier lines of food products or whatever, that basic what we have, we will not change. So
And will you be doing more of the tasting in other markets as well, where when the production happens?
I've been doing a little bit of once they launch, they send it to us to see, and I'm really enjoying it. So I will be doing it a little bit more.
Ravi, you have to handle the operational part of it, the finance part of it as well. In terms of growth, where do you see the more exciting markets, and where will you be putting your money into?
I think right now our real focus outside Sri Lanka is India, to be very frank. Yeah, that's a huge market. So, and our next step is to see that with Reliance to conquer another continent, maybe Africa. So that's our plan. So we are right now is very focused. It's the first venture we went out, and it's just a very big market. It's one of the largest markets and one of the most complicated markets. So definitely in the next 3 years will be the full focus, and how we can expand that same learning, same strength to other continents also through with Reliance.
You started in South India and you are working yourself up in terms of distribution, or
So our strategy is always pan-India, but yes, we have done pilots at various places because as in India, we need to get our thought processes and the distribution network side. But the idea was never to kind of stay there. Idea is to take it pan-India.
yes, and obviously the southern states would know Sri Lanka better and Sri Lankan brands better.
And maybe the same palette also, maybe.
Somewhat
yes.
closer.
Yeah, very close, yeah.
Again, I would put it global quality, affordable price makes it relevant everywhere.
Everywhere. I agree.
And you have to customize based on the taste. That's it.
Exactly. And everybody's worried about the tariffs. And what I say is if you have the products that is, exactly what you say, for a global audience that is affordable, I think they will still buy. Yeah. Ketan, Kumudika, and Ravi, thank you for your time. I wish this partnership great success. And thank you for sharing details about it today with us.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.